Hello everyone and welcome to Bristol. You joined me live here for the Stirling Sim Racing on Dirt at Bristol Motor Speedway. We're going to be in heat number 1 at the fastest half mile in the world with the limited dirt late models. Honestly, I'm excited to see these things going around here. We got a few familiar names from the past few weeks if you have been sticking with us. And honestly, I'm excited to see how all this is going to go. A few new names as well. A lot of fast cars out here tonight on the red dirt. See, iRacing.com pace chart goes by one more time. Remember that this is the very interesting Bristol where there are 2 pit lane entrances, because of course there are. So, we're going to have a great race, and honestly I am very excited to see it once I said. But, got a heat, and then we got a 45 lap race, courtesy of Stirling Sim Racing here with I believe the Fun Racing League we are with now, FUN. So we'll be seeing that as the iRacing.com pace truck pulls off. You heard my spotter there a little bit in the background. We're green flag. All right, we go around now just by the flags, and it looks like Clinton Chambers is already off to a flying start here. See Matt Armbruster trying his best. Oh, the 92 is around. That's Wayne Bridges around on the back stretch here at Bristol. Collects a few cars, 2 faster pairs for the main feature here tonight. 8-lap shootout. This is going to be your field for tonight, so we only have the 1 heat. We don't need 3. This Clinton Chambers is going to be rushing on by that. And last right now, that is Wayne Bridges still pulled off there. Didn't want to tow, but anyway. Got to be careful so these guys don't get in there. But Clinton Chambers, like I said, is already pulling away. Although you can see Matt Armbruster is right here, right on his tail, trying his best to catch back up. Clinton Chambers is the man to watch. We've seen him on the dirt tracks before. We've seen him in the street stocks with Stirling Sim before. Clinton is a very fast driver, so it's good to see him out once again here with Stirling Sim Racing. We always appreciate him out there. Scott Whiteman there in the 17, keeping up with our drivers up here in the field. The limited late models are one of the more interesting cars here on the iRacing.com service when it comes to dirt, because these ones actually like to stick together a lot more than some of the other dirt cars. So usually if you are not the greatest driver in the world when it comes to your race pace, you don't really need to worry too much with these things because they can't slide as much as some of the other cars. But Scott's been shuffled down into 4th as currently Christopher Standridge is running in 3rd position, doing his best to try to catch up to Matt Armbruster in front of him, and Clinton Chambers, who is continuing to lead at Bristol. Pretty good indication of what's going to be coming here in the next couple of minutes for our main feature. Got some good side-by-side racing there between the 22 and the 144. Oh, they collide going into turn number 3. From a higher-up perspective here. Honestly, the dirt on Bristol is something I think needs to stay a bit more. This stuff is awesome to get to see as we are on the final lap now here at Bristol. Coming around now, turns 3 and 4. Clinton Chambers, I think, has got it under control unless Christopher Standridge can make a change. He's close, but just doesn't have it. Scott Whiteman finishes 3rd. Matt Armbruster in 4th. See your top 5 up there. Currently, Lucas Piper, my apologies, currently running in 5th. Les Benz got 6th. Blake Lishka is in 7th, and Wayne Bridges in 8th. That is your heat session, and we're going to be in our warm-up now before we head over to the main feature. Good to see everybody out here once again. I do appreciate everyone's attendance. That all comes around if you are on YouTube later on. I appreciate you being out here. Same with you on Twitch. Honestly, it's a good day to be here, and gotta love Bristol, man. Bristol is just one of those different kind of dirt tracks, especially a dirt Bristol, where we don't really get to see it all that often. So it's good to see these guys out here, especially the Stirling Sim crew, who we do not see every single week. Number 67 here of Les Benz in their Pepsi dirt late model. Driver information up there on your right. One of the best things about our overlay package here, brought to you by Pierce Graphics, is you get to see all the driver information and anything else that you really want to see. So thank you to Pierce Graphics for giving us a fantastic overlay set. Like I said before, Christopher Standridge is looking to be pretty fast here. He was in second there for the heat race, and I'm excited to see what he's going to be able to do for the main feature. I mean, these are the kind of guys that, you know, I don't want to say are your underdogs, but the ones that you see in, especially in these dirt races, to come in and make a change happen. So I expect to see Christopher Standridge being right there on the door of whoever is going to be leading this race after the first few laps. We have 8 dirt late models around the track here tonight. Gotta love it. All the different lines we're going to be able to see these drivers trying to take. This is what I was saying before about the dirt late model, though, is a bit different than just about any other dirt car, and really any other car on the iRacing service, is that these things don't really slide as much as the other dirt cars, and are a lot more known for sticking closer together. So we're going to see a lot of bumping and banging, most likely. You can see the difference in lines up between Scott Whiteman there and the 22 of Standridge as they go through 3 and 1 and 2 there. That bottom line is a lot faster right now, but as soon as the track starts to wear, and I imagine they'll be having to scoot up towards the top with the cushion. We'll say dirt is not one of the things I often get to broadcast, so it is good to see some more diversity out here. What we're going to be having as we're following with Blake Lish. Fresh names. Give me a minute. Blake Lishka there in the 21. But yeah, Stirling Sim Racing out here with the Fun Racing League. Looks like a new friendship starting to form up there between our good friends over at Stirling. Gotta appreciate all the diversity that Stirling Sim Racing put out there. Also, make sure you tune in for the Out of This World Racing Series, which will be coming up very shortly. Keep an eye out for that, because that is something you won't want to miss. Remember, that is going to be a half field of AI drivers, half field of real drivers, and they're going to be competing against each other to see who can put on the best show possible and what your kind of teammate combination looks like. So, once again, keep eyes out for that, and more info to come. Well, here we are at Bristol Motor Speedway down in Bristol, Tennessee. Got a whole field of 8 late models ready to go for your viewing and racing pleasure. Stirling Sim Racing, you can see there on the hood of Scott Whiteman's late model, as we are going to be pulling off now. Let's go and run through your grid. So, starting on pole position in first place is going to be Clinton Chambers, with Christopher Standridge there finishing in second of the heat. He's going to be alongside. Second row inside lane is going to go to Scott Whiteman in the number 17. He's the interesting blue galaxy kind of colored car, with Matt Armbruster on his outside in number 4 position. In the third row in fifth position, you're going to have Lucas Piper there in the number 10. And Les Benz is going to be on his outside in the 67. Then finally bringing up the rear of your field is going to be Blake Lishka and Wayne Bridges, which you do not get to see on screen as he was not able to finish the heat race. Good field of cars here at Bristol. 8 cars is usually enough for a nice dirt race out here, especially when they're a lot closer together. And like we saw in the heats, it doesn't seem like the field's going to get too far separated. So, 45 laps here at the world's fastest half mile. And these late models are definitely going to be quick. So, with that, the iRacing.com pace truck pulls off to go down pit road as we come now towards the green. There it is, green flag, and away we go here at Bristol. Clinton Chambers not off to such a fantastic start like he had last time. That's going to be going to Christopher Standridge now. Going to be now in first position. Got to keep an eye out for those guys as Scott Whiteman is running through, and they're around there down the backstretch. That's the 2 of them destroyed, and the caution is out. Those 2 very close together. We'll make sure we get a nice view of that in just a moment. All right, we have a nice view up here we get to watch from our blimp. Head on to the end game now. We can see Clinton Chambers there trying to work the bottom on the number 22, but I think he starts to slide up. Let's go and see how that works. It looks like Standard tries to hold his line, maybe going down just a little bit. Clinton starts going up just a hair though too. These two are very close together. Bit of contact there, and then Clinton tries to straighten out and gets right into his wheel. Two fast repairs these guys have, so if they suffered any major damage, they're going to be fine. As we see the 22 starting to go around, I think Clinton tries to maybe straighten him out just a little bit, and in doing so starts to turn himself. Scott Whiteman there in the 17 dives up high. Make sure he stays out of that one as these two now start to go down the backstretch. In sync too, as they send their rear quarters into the wall. Seen a lot worse damage come with these things, so I think they should be alright, but maybe a repair wouldn't hurt. As they are at the half mile. So that has been your wreck so far here already. Lap number 1, we had that on. Only shows what might be to come here at Bristol. Scott Whiteman is going to be leading your field back to green, and Matt Armbruster is going to be behind him there. It's going to be interesting to see whether or not they chose to go with 2 wide starts or not. That is the one difference you really get to see with dirt racing, is that very often they do have single file restarts because it can just become such a mess so quickly. Lights on the pace truck are off, though, here at Bristol. Scott Whiteman is going to be leading the field to green with Matt Armbruster behind and Lucas Piper in third. Blake Lishka there in the number 10. Nope, number 21 behind there in the ARA machine. All right, as they round turn 4 now, we see the iRacing.com pace truck pull off as Scott is going to be leading the field to green. There it is, green flag, and away we go here at Bristol. The 21 off to some pretty big wheel spin. They dive into turn number 1. 21 on the bottom there, trying to work it around it, but does not have the pace as the 67 goes alongside. 92 on the outside. Ooh, a little bit of collision there between the 21 and the 67 there of Les Bent. But they got this thing okay for now. Clinton Chambers sticking it on through. We see the speed that Clinton has. Whoa! Chops the nose off of that 21 on to Clinton. That is not going to be useful. The 21, he is kind of all over the place there. But Blake Lishka hopefully can get that thing under control as Les Benz has moved to the rear of the field. Oh! Another collision there between the 92 of Wayne Bridges and the 21. See the 21 being very aggressive with his blocking. I think with his blocking. As Scott Whiteman continues to lead your field right now as he's getting chased right now between Matt Armbruster and Lucas Piper. Ooh, almost a spin out there for Matt Armbruster now as he leaves turn number 4. Now as they go through turns 1 and 2, the 10 of Lucas onto the bottom, trying to see if he can go around. He's got the position on the bottom. Like I said before, I think that bottom lane will be the preferred lane to be in for a little bit. Not for too long, though. I know it can be a bit of a struggle. As they head down the backstretch now. Scott Whiteman still has the lead on this thing as Lucas Piper is running in second position onto the inside quarter. As Scott Whiteman, they're down side by side through the back and front stretch. My apologies. Now as they run through turns 1 and 2 again. See the 10 now has the lead. That's Lucas Piper out to the win. Scott Whiteman and Matt Armbruster are going to be side by side running through 3 and 4 trying to catch up. 45 laps here is going to fly by because it is dirt racing and they like to go on through. We see there now that the 144 is, ooh, throws a block out there to Scott, does not want him to have it, is now Christopher Standridge is coming back into play. Same with Clinton Chambers. These two already have a history and see what they can do. Clinton Chambers kind of residing himself to stick a little bit further back, doesn't want to get involved too much. It is a very respectable plan, as getting yourself involved very quickly is highly dangerous, as he has known already. 140, ooh, side by side there between Standridge and Whiteman now as they head through 1 and 2. That 22 has the bottom on the 17. Can he take it away even faster? He looks like he's pretty close to. That is the kind of racing you get to see with these dirt late models, is watching these guys try to force each other out of the way. And these aren't like the other NASCAR vehicles. I mean, kind of NASCAR, not really. Um, where you'll see with the other stock cars, I should say, where everyone kind of gets a little bit squirrely when they look to push each other out of the way. But when it comes to the late models, I think everyone is just so used to that on-ice fielding where they'll usually reside the position to you, or they'll give you one heck of a race, and that's what we've been seeing so far, especially between this 22 and the 17. Scott Whiteman is not letting Standridge go. They keep trying to keep pace with Armbruster and Piper now, who is continuing to lead this race and pull a sizable gap. However, like I said, though, I think that they're starting to realize that bottom is just that little bit faster. Starting to stick down as Scott Whiteman hits the wall there. Another good thing about these things is that they can actually survive a few wall hits. And they aren't just a complete disaster. We're going to follow back now to the rear of your field. It looks like these two here between Wayne Bridges and Blake Lishka are trying to give each other a pretty good race. Seeing some position swaps, so not surprised that they're giving each other some good racing now as we hop back in front a little bit. As we now see Clinton Chambers there looking to the inside of Whiteman, seeing if he's going to be able to take it away. Very close to almost a collision there with that rounded front nose there from the 58 into the 17 as they now run through 3 and 4 once again. This is just a good track. It's so short and these laps just absolutely tick by, but some good racing you get to see as always with Bristol. Lucas Piper continues to lead this race ahead of Matt Armbruster, Christopher Standridge, Clinton Chambers, and Scott Whiteman. We was able to see just there a little bit further back that Clinton Chambers was able to get around Whiteman finally. He got himself around. That is a struggle sometimes to just get in that position where you can overtake, and that's what they're finding out. Ooh, the 144 is around Standridge. I think sent him around. The caution does not fly for him. That is going to not help Standridge at all as he has damage. Oh, caution does fly. There it goes. There for the 22. Unfortunate incident. That's going to bunch up your field, though. Like I said, though, there are two faster pairs, so he's going to be able to get himself back up into a nice working order. He'll be okay for this race. Sadly, 2 collisions, though. I mean, that's brutal, especially with these things. You can just end up, so far back, and I think he's realizing the consequences of that now. But hopefully with this repair he's going to be able to take, he should be okay. Clinton Chambers, though, up into 2nd position now. Ready to chase down Lucas Piper. Let's go and take a look at that wreck and see just what happened, because I am fascinated to know, as we didn't really get to see it too much. And the person I forgot to mention that was recovering through that, because they recovered so well, has to be Matt Armbruster, who's running in 4th. Let's go ahead and bring up the in-game view now. We can get to see what happened there as they run on through. It looks like the 22 just takes that order entry just a little bit too fast and just completely spins him around. You can see his recovery, though. He's able to hold it only after I think that was only 2 spin arounds, so he's in a pretty good spot as Clinton Chambers runs around by. Then I think he's a little bit exasperated or isn't paying too much attention or something and slams up into the wall. Caution didn't really need to come out for that due to his recovery, but it is a good thing to bunch up your field, especially close to a kind of halfway mark. So, good to see. Good to see. All right. Back in now. Lucas Piper's going to be leading the field to the green. Clinton Chambers is going to be giving him his best run possible to get around through. Scott Whiteman back up into 3rd. I'm ready to get racing. Lights on the pace truck are off, so we're going green this time. Thank everybody that's been able to make it out so far. I do appreciate it. All right, now as we head towards the green flag, there it is, green flag. Away we go. See the flag man waving them all to go. The number 10 of Lucas Piper off to a pretty good start. Clinton Chambers running in the slick there. He's got to be careful that doesn't spin himself out. That is the tricky part. The slick can either make you faster or slower, most of the time slower. But you have to ride it just right to get that extra amount of speed you get. You can't run a fresh track the entire time. See the 10 really starting to pull away now. It looks like on the exits there, we're able to see from this camera angle that the 58 of Chambers is struggling off of corner exit. You can see him. Yep, there it is, off 4-2. He just has a little bit of a tail wiggle, which is not helping him at all. But it looks like Scott Whiteman is trying to take a little bit of a different line and start off in the fresh and then moving down to the slick. Something a way to help him speed up his car. Who knows? You can try anything here at Bristol. You got any line you want, especially when it comes down to the dirt late models. I mean, any line works for these things. Well, it works for getting around the track, I should say. Top two, though, continuing to stick with each other. Now, as we're starting to see Matt Armbruster catch up to Scott Whiteman there. Same with Les Benz there in that 67 Pepsi dirt late model. Let's go and see what it's like to drive one of these things. That is one of the things we don't usually get to see, is what it's like to be on board. Here we are with the 67 of Benz now as we head through turns 1 and 2. You can see that banking. It's awesome to see at Bristol. I mean, you just don't see dirt track banking that high ever. So it's, you know, it allowed the NASCAR race to be great. Same with the World of Outlaws event we saw. Now as they head out of turn number 4, able to hold on to it pretty well. Other good part about the dirt late model limiteds here on the iRacing service is that these things are pretty well composed. You can keep your pedal to the metal and you don't have to worry too much about tons of wheel spin or collecting other cars all the time. So nice way to race, just being able to have to essentially play super speedway chess on a short track there as he almost collides there into the 144. You can see him pull his visor tear off. But alright, let's head back on out. That was a good perspective to see what it's like. Clinton Chambers, though, still trying to chase down Lucas Piper now. Coming to 10 to go this time by. Here we are, 10 to go. 58 has a pretty good line setup. I mean, he's kind of just whittling down that time just little by little per lap to see what he can do, but it seems like it's kind of working, kind of not. You can watch that on the left-hand side to see how they are doing, but it's just a rough thing to try to put together. Am I gaining? Am I not? But it looks like he is. He's right on that bumper. Hopefully he doesn't spin around too much. That's the thing we do want to try to avoid. Is he's on the bottom? Can he take away the position? We see him side by side now across the start-finish line. Can Clinton Chambers take home the first position here before the race ends? They are close still, side by side. It's the kind of action that you wish you get to see a little bit more often now, as it looks like Clinton's almost got it. He's clear. Can he throw up to throw the block? He does. That 10 is not getting back through now. Clinton Chambers out to the lead again. Here it's Stirling Sim. Whoa, he's, like I said before, he struggles off that exit off of 2 and 4. Saw him there on struggling out of 2. Can he do it out of 4? If he keeps having these bad exits, that 10 is going to take over ASAP. Especially now as we see that 10, you're able to see that right rear trying to stick up just above the slick, so he gets that nice fast cushion. He's able to grip down and go faster, but Clinton blocks him out. A little bit of contact between the two. So you see him trying to slice and dice now, doing anything they can to get positions. As now Scott Whiteman is still running in 3rd position, holding up Matt Armbruster, who's a little bit further back now. Hasn't been quite able to stick up as well as I think he would like, especially with his speed that we saw over in the warm-up and in the practice before the race. As your two leaders continue to duke it out here at Bristol. Make sure you tune in once again a little bit later on so you can see the Out of This World Racing Series with Stirling Sim Racing. I remember that's half the field AI, half of it driver, and there's a lot of really cool perks to racing that. So make sure you tune in eventually to find out some more information. I think this Stirling Sim Racing putting on these fantastic races that we get to see every now and then here on twitch.tv/Forkload. Gotta love it. As Clinton Chambers now continues to lead at Bristol. Looks like Clinton is our dirt track guy. He was able to be in the Dirt Legends, what was that, 2 months ago now? something like that. We're in the Dirt Legends at Charlotte, if I'm not mistaken, or was it Lima Land? One or the other. They're very similar tracks, but he was leading most of the race and was able to take away the win. And now as we're on the final white flag lap, we get to see Clinton Chambers leading once again as he is going to be holding up Lucas Piper, who doesn't really have the run. He takes the bottom lane to try it and just doesn't get it, and Clinton Chambers is across the line for the race win. Lucas Piper gets second, Scott Whiteman third, Matt Armbruster in fourth, and Les Benz gets fifth. Good run out of these guys. Honestly, I'd love to see it here with the Stirling Sim Racing crew. So you should expect to see maybe, and I know it's a little bit difficult to do in the late models, but we'll see if we can figure out how to do a burnout if he doesn't stall it, and I think he did. That's the unfortunate thing about the late models. They don't start quite as easily as many of the other cars out there. Well, with that, that has been our race here with the Stirling Sim Racing crew here at Bristol. Honestly, a great show that these guys were able to put on, and I love to see it every single time we can. It's honestly the really big benefit we get here on the iRacing.com service is we're able to host these kind of races. You know, between our street stocks that we got to see on Charlotte, between the Cup cars, Gander RV, and outdoor trucks, there's just good stuff to see all the time, especially with the Stirling Sim Racing guys who care a lot about clean racing and like to promote racing for anybody that can race in, whether you're an experienced pro trying to come in and just relax a bit, or whether you're a rookie and trying to get a bit more laps in the sim without using AI or the mess that is the Rookie Series. So, honestly, a great show we've had here at Bristol, and I do appreciate everyone that has come out for this event here tonight. Make sure you tune in tomorrow at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time for Cast Car. That's going to be the Wingnut Productions 200. Then on Tuesday, make sure you tune in for the Tuesday Night Truck League. With that, I've been Noah Walter here on twitch.tv/4cloak. Make sure you check out our sponsors. That's Pierce Graphics, Frankenstein Metalworks, Equipment Geek Racing. Check out our website at www.4cloak.net. And that's going to be all out of me. So until next time, I'll see you.